Okay, so well, good day everyone. So today is 30. Is it 31st? No, today is 1st of September 2023. Um, so almost about 6:47 p.m. So um, now I've been talking about. I know on few of my past videos I've been saying that I have I have one particular 508 that I do recommend, model of 508. When I mean five, I'm talking about W2, that I do recommend, and that I'm going to do a video. I was going to do a video on that, but the thing is, I've not been able to um, have the opportunity to have two model of this 508 at the same time to do this video. Either I'll have access to one of the models at a particular point in time. By the next time I'll have access to the other model, the other one I'll not have access. So so because of that, I couldn't make that video. So today I was like, what I'll do is I'll just use pictures to do explain what I needed to talk about in that about the model. In fact, these two models. Remember, right now we have like how many? About four different models of 508. Four different models. So the one I'm referring to are the first two models, which are regarded as W2. In other words, some call it first generation. So it makes it easier. First generation 508. So these are the two models I'm going to discuss on this video, and I actually recommend one of them. Even though the other model, I don't discourage people from buying that, but for me, if you can, go for this particular model I'm going to emphasize on in this video, and I will try to explain why I prefer or recommend that particular one against the other model I will also show in this video. So what you are looking at is an article that somebody published. Um, what's the name of the? You can see the name, J Wong published it in 2015. The name of the site, I think, is Car Fuel. The reason why I decided to um do this video using pictures he attached on his article is because he was comparing both models that I want to talk about in this video on that article. So it will be much easier rather than going to pick pictures. I have pictures of that I took by myself of these two models, but then I don't have the pictures. But none of the pictures have both models in the same in one particular picture. So I decided, let me use this. So what I'll do is, at the end of this video, I'm going to post or link the article to the video description, um or maybe on the comment section, and then I'll pin the link so that you can go there and read it. However, I didn't actually bother to read the article. I just went to the pictures and the screenshots, so that, because that's really what I need. I already know why, or information or the knowledge on these two cars, so there was no need for me to read it too. So I will advise you go there and read, because you probably will learn more from the article. Okay, so let's go in proper. So like I said, the first two models of 508 are regarded as W2. So this W2, they were produced from 2010 to 2017. At least early 2017, that's when the production ended. So just say from 2010 to 2017, early 2017. So, or let's just say 2017. So that's where you can get the W2. Now, it started in 2010, then in 2014, it was facelifted, it was remodeled or improved on. So the look changed, and some things on the vehicle changed. So, in other words, I will regard this as an improved W2 or an improved 508, the older model is an improved one. So, I don't know how to be able to show you which one is the new model, the facelifted model. I mean, okay, this one here you are looking at on the screen is the first W2. This is the first 508 produced from 2010, which ended in 2013. And now this one you are looking at, which is on the right or on the left, in fact, depending on how you are looking at on the screen. So this particular one is the facelifted model. Both are regarded as W2. That's their code. So I think the reason why the Peugeot gave them the same code is, in other words, they are both are basically the same vehicle. Actually, they just there was no there was some changes, but in terms of the interior, there's not much. Actually, if I inside the vehicle, can't even tell the difference. There are some differences I'm going to point out. Okay, so from the body, even down here, let me see if I can be able to show. Okay, so you can see by when view by from the side, that's the side view. The older model is behind, while the facelifted model is in front. So to me, okay, I think let's go with this. For me, the facelifted model, I just prefer the looks. It just looks it makes the looks makes more sense. The exterior appearance makes more sense to me. So now, the easiest way to identify this facelifted model is if you know Peugeot 301, the facelifted model as well. You know there are many models now. 408 is about 3 or 4 models now. So the first one, then there's the one that was that followed up with the first model. I don't even know when that. I think that one production probably started around 2014 as well. So the facelifted 301, or the second model, okay, let's just say the second model of 301 looks like the second model of 508. So both from the front and the rear, when when from afar, sometimes you can even mistake both vehicles until you get very close. Of course, the 508 is much bigger and longer, wider. But my point is, the design, the exterior design, they have similar shape. The headlight, the rear light, not necessarily that the headlights are the same, but when you look at both vehicles, it's as if they from afar you look as if they are the same, that, oh, this is 508 or this is 301, until you start getting close. Of course, the bumpers are not the same. There are a few differences, but I'm just giving you especially the headlight, that curve under it, where the bumper entered, kind of curved in the middle of the headlight. Both vehicles, 301 facelifted model and the 508, have the same. So um this is the rear view. um so the facelifted model is this one. This is the one. So why the pre facelift, the older one, is this one. So like I said, for me, even for both the front and the rear view, I prefer that facelifted model. It just makes sense for me. And so it's also you. Some people might like the older one more based on the looks. What else? So this better view for the two. Um, so yeah, like I said, when you look at that facilitated model, this one, uh, you just look as if it's facilitated 301. So now for the interior, especially when I mean interior, when you say interior, usually the focus will be on the dashboard. So in terms of the interior, if you are sitting inside, you can barely tell which one is which. Yeah, until you start paying attention to the specifics. But generally, there's not much difference. You know, I know. I know. There, even on the center console, yeah, there's a small change there. Something they changed and the rest. But my point is, when you sit inside, you can't really tell that it's a different vehicle from the older model. That's what I'm saying. So it's basically same. However, there's a significant difference in terms of the gadget. Um, Now, not all of them have is it 9 inches or 7 inches screen? Either this screen you are looking at, the display on above the, what's it called, the cup holder. So don't think it's all of them. Some don't have, some do. However, the older one, the older W2, the big display is not touch screen. I don't if I remember correctly, I'm not sure it's touch screen. um so every control on the screen comes from the manual switches, both on the steering wheel and on that control panel, um under the cup holder, the two cup holders, and gear, those ones. So basically, you only that you control what comes up on the display via the manual switches. However, the facelifted W2, the revised 508 W2, that one, the ones that have the display, the big display, those ones are they are touch screen. You can control what on the screen by touching, just like you do on your phone or all this other Android display. So the one another big difference is that the facilitated 508 W2, those ones with this big display, I want to believe at least all the ones I know I've driven, all these facilitated model I've driven with this big display, they all have reverse camera. This is standard, not like aftermarket or the owners installed. No, the vehicles came with this camera. So I believe they are all factory fitted, not aftermarket. So but the earlier model, yeah, they have the big screen, but I don't think they have camera on them. It's possible, I bet. I don't think so. I don't think. Unless maybe I'm misplacing it. Maybe, yeah. I don't know, but I don't think they do have that camera, at least as standard. It's possible maybe the late facelifted model, maybe the 2030, it's possible they may have camera. Remember, the production started in 2010. So it's possible that a few of them have camera as in standard. Or no, from factory. But I know for the other ones, the facelifted model, their cameras are, as far as I have these big screens, more or less it's standard. Unless maybe there's one or two that did not have from new. There could be other differences. Just like I said, they are not. It's not that significant when you are sitting inside the car to tell this is the facilitated model or this is the earlier model. So um, so this is the view, the front view. I can see what the guy said, posted. He said the new this is the headlights, um, the daytime running lights, which is under, I think small like serve as the fog lamp as well. Um, can see the center console. This one has a seat. What's it called? Is it heater? Not massage. Don't think. Probably has seat massage as well. So this is the earlier one, the older model. You can see the difference between the center console and this one. The front end has that, the bumper has that small 308. The what's it called? If I it even has it looks a little bit like the early 301, the front bumper. Um, so basically, um, so this is the pictures. I don't want to spend much time on this trying to show these pictures because this is not the main reason why I'm doing this. Um, okay, if I know what, let me go to straight to why I'm doing this video. Okay, I think let me stay on this one. So the reason why I recommend this facelifted model are two major reasons, actually. Two major reasons. The early one, the early model had a 120 HP engine. I'm talking about petrol engines now. So the smallest, I won't call it smaller because they're all small engines, 1.6 liter engines. So, but the underpowered engine on the W2 early 508, it has a 120 HP, which you regard as VTI 120. That's the engine model. So that one, the gearbox is horrible. I tell people, if I avoid any 508 you see with that engine, avoid it, irrespective of, because from my understanding, all of them, as long as you find any 508 with that engine from new, they all have this electronic manual gearbox. In other words, manual gearbox electronically controlled. So stay away from that 508. Unless you find a way to convert to manual transmission fully or automatic transmission fully, fine. But as long as it's that same gearbox they call auto manual or whatever, stay away from that. That gearbox is horrible in terms of durability, cost of repair. You won't understand until you enter into it. They usually sell 508 with that engine very cheap because of the drama the gearbox give users. So they will they will buy, experience that nightmare. Immediately they will sell it off at whatever price anybody is willing to pay. You will rush, I want to have 508, and then issue wahala will start. So stay away from that unless you want to convert. The second early 508 W2 has another petrol engine, but it's like it's more powerful. It's still 1.6 but more powerful. That's the turbocharged engine. So that one is a 156. Um, Now I've seen few. I think like the late model, like 2013. That one you may get the one of 160 or 163 horsepower. But that early model, the ones they did in 2010, 2011, what you usually find is, in fact, like two turbocharged engines, about two of them, 150 horsepower and 156 horsepower. So 156, 150. The torque is basically, they're all the same, 240 Nm torque. They're all the same. So those engines on that early 508, they had how do I call it now? Let's say factory issues. Remember, these engines were, including the VTR 120, the non-turbocharged petrol engine. They were more the first THP engine, or the first EP6 engine Peugeot produced. Starting, well, I think they started using it from 308, 207 before 2010. Like you could say maybe from 2008 or thereabout. I think 207, when did the production even start? So let's just leave it at from 2008 upward, or 2007 upward. So those engines had some issues that this was like the first time Peugeot started producing those engines. So it was I could say the 308 T7, 207, and 508, that early W2, we are more like they serve as an experiment for those engines. It's as simple as that. They serve as an experiment. So there were some issues, even though eventually most of them were fixed when they first came out. But then, they were there at that time. And even after fixing them, every once in a while they will pop up. They are more like peculiar issues with them. And the thing is that engine sometimes even accessories are even more problematic than even the engine itself. The accessories are the ones that give more headache, like uh, high pressure fuel pump, um, all this high pressure fuel pump. I try to remember. There's one solenoid attached on the take manifold. Um, then even inside the engine. If I start listening to, it's going to take a while to start explaining some of the issues I know I do when diagnosing I see and fix that usually come up on all these EPC engines. Then inside the engine, you tend to have issue with the valve stem cells and the rest. So because of that, I do tell people, if you can, these cars were like an experiment for these engines. Stay away from them. If you cannot, then as you are buying, understand that you may encounter those issues starting at the point you start using the vehicle. Probably the previous user did not fix, or probably he fixed, and then by the time you acquire the vehicle, those issues started coming back again, or that the previous user fixed, and at some point one of the previous users changed the engine completely or something. So the used engine the person mounted have so those issues that, and they were not fixed before the engine was removed for the vehicle was produced with and mounted on the one you purchased. So those issues will start coming again until you start fixing them gradually. So that's one point. If you are buying any of these cars, 508, 308. Anyway, let me forget about this other model of car. I'm talking about 508 now, 2010 to 2013. So if you are buying that, understand that if you are buying this early pre-facelift, this early 508W2, understand that you are likely, the probability of you experiencing it is high. However, if you have the resources, you can fix it, and then it goes, those issues will go away for a long time. Or even if they start coming back gradually, by that time it will just be one will come out today, then after a long time another one. So you have the space, and so it won't be a big deal to be doing those replacements. Of course, every vehicle will break down, no matter how good the vehicle engine or the accessories are. But it's just that in this point, they are very peculiar. These things I'm pointing out, over time they will come up again. You fix after a while, pop up. So what now happened is from 2014, Peugeot changed the model, the 508. Some of the early the facilitated model still have these accessories and the engine you will find in the early 508. Like the 2014, you will find even the 2014 model of this facilitated model, it still has that THP 120, no, not THP, VTI 120, the non-turbocharged engine, the one with that horrible gearbox. You still get it from that model, especially the 2014 model, up to about 2016. So 2014, 2015, sometime from 2016, I think they've just stopped. Or you could say 2017, or let's just leave it at 2016, they stopped using that engine. So for this facilitated model, what Peugeot did was they introduced another, or basically the same THP engine, but what they now did was they increased the power to 163, or basically 165. Let's just leave it at 165 horsepower. Even though there's always an argument it's 165 PS, but the brake horsepower is 163. All those things. So I just leave it at what Peugeot says. So let's just say like 165. Since there's no more difference between 160 and 165, basically there are 2 HP difference. But the torque is the same, 240 Nm. So Peugeot now increase from one. At that time they didn't do 150 from this facilitated model. No more 150. So what you now get is 156 and the 165. That's what you get. So you won't see the 150, unless maybe there are a few countries they did it for better. By standard, what you see mostly is 156 and 163, then that 120 HP, the one with headed gearbox. But these engines, the turbocharged engines, most especially the 163 or 165, those accessories that were giving issues on the early 508 were changed, and the improved accessories, the ones that are better we are now used. Like I said, same engine, but the accessories were changed. Of course, there could be few differences, maybe a different model of or an improved valve stem cells we are used on the improved one. But my point is, it's basically the same engine. I can't say I'm not. I can't say for a fact that the model numbers are the same, but it's just that it still remain the same THP 156, THP 163, or THP. You now have THP 165. So that you can see the reason why I recommend is those things that were improved on the facilitated model will at least protect you from having the issues the early 508 users are having. For example, the high pressure fuel pump on this facilitated model, this THP engine, is different from the other one. And so what will now happen? And then this later model, the facilitated model, tend to last at least longer. They don't give issues like the earlier one. However, the most important thing itself is that it's even much cheaper. This high pressure fuel pump of the facilitated model is much cheaper than the expensive one, which is not even durable, on the uh, facelift, the early 508, or early W2. Okay, let's just say old new, so it makes it easier. Even though we have so many models now, so for the context of this video, let's say old and new. So the high pressure fuel pump on the old model 508 is more expensive, and still it's not as durable as the cheaper high pressure fuel pump on the facelift on the new model 508. I'm talking about here in Nigeria. Now I'm telling you, here in Nigeria, to buy these two fuel pumps, the new model is cheaper than the old model, and the new model will serve you much longer. Likewise, the issues with the timing chain, the old model, not necessarily the timing chain, but the timing chain tensioner has a lot of issues. They were not good. So over time, they will fail and make the chain to start making noise, or even make the timing to jump. They will jump timing, as in go off completely. Your timing will no longer be set. Your engine will be sounding as if it's diesel engine, and you lose power, doing all kinds of things. So, but this thing, they now use an improved tensioner, timing chain tensioner, which you can actually put on your old model engine. Yeah, you can use it there, and the issue will solve. So you see where I'm coming. The only way to enjoy this old model one is you have to use at least some of this improved parts on the new model W2 on the old model. Then those issues go, at least you won't be able to expect. Not everything are interchangeable. For example, the high pressure fuel pump, I don't think you can use the new model on the old model. I don't think so. If I look at it, I see the cylinder head is even different. So, so that is on the engine side. Is one of the two major reasons I recommend the facilitated model. At least, you have the chance of getting one that has more power. 163, no, 156, 165, or 163. Is there maybe like 7 to 9 horsepower difference. Or you may even buy the old model of 150. In that case, it will be up to 15 horsepower difference. Though the engine torque, they're all the same, 240. But the horsepower is a little bit different. So the 165 is actually well improved. But the only guarantee of you getting the 165 is not that early W2 facilitated model, the early new model. There are some of them have it, only that they mix it up, just like 504 and 505, 406 and 407. When they start, when they bring out a successor like 505, they will still continue with some of the old engines in 504, the engines they use in 504. However, maybe 2 years after into the production of the 505 or 407, they will now start changing some things that will improve the fuel consumption or improve the power, so that's how Peugeot usually do their thing. So for the W2, the new model of this W2, the 2014 when it started, you will find most of these engines on the old model with the accessories also on this um, new model, but some of them, especially now the one with the 165 or 163 horsepower, the things pass change, or I would say the change. So that is on the engine side. Now, another major reason, the second major reason I recommend this facilitated model is the gearbox. Now, this gearbox is for those who are interested in the automatic transmission. Remember, everything I'm saying is about petrol engines, not the diesel. I know nothing about the diesel W258, so I don't want to venture into it. So, for the petrol, so for the automatic transmission, the early or the old model 508 has a 6-speed automatic, which is 86. Now, the 86, compared to these other Peugeot gearboxes, automatic gearboxes, 406, 407, name them. Like I'm talking about AL4, AM6, 4HP20. The 86 in 508, old model 508 is much better in terms of durability and dependability. These two things, dependability and durability, is much better, the 86. So if you are buying that old model 508, gearbox should be the least of your worry. Doesn't mean you shouldn't change the oil. If you leave the oil and it fails, it has happened to people like someone I know. The ATF use the car up to 90,000 mileage, 90,000 kilometer mileage from new. The ATF became too bad, damaged the gearbox, as simple as that. So you don't take it for granted. So it has to be changed. But in terms of depending that this gearbox will take you anywhere and bring you back, no issue. Yeah, it will. As long as you maintain it, you change, service it when due. Unlike the other one that even sometimes when you are servicing them, you are not even sure. You know. So, however, this facelifted model, the Peugeot now revised the gearbox, the 86. So they now improved on it. And what you now have is E86. E80, that I call it EAT. E80. The other one is 86. This one E86. It's the same 6-speed automatic gearbox. However, not again, I will repeat, the early facilitated model like that 2014 when they started, most of the automatic gearbox you get will still be that 86. Especially the one on 156 automatic, no, 156 HP engine, THP 156. But from the 165, at least I'm very sure from 2016, 2017, all the 165 THP engine, they all have the E86. So even from that 2014, you will get E86, that improved 6-speed automatic, which is much better than the earlier one, the one it succeeded, which is 86 in the old model. So these are the two major reasons why I prefer Even though I'm not into automatic gearbox, but I'm telling you, you enjoy the facilitated model much better than the older model. That's as simple as that. If you're into gadgets, yeah, the newer model has better gadgets. Not much. It's not like I could say especially that dashboard thing. We had the touch screen, this and that. Then the few other things like the reverse camera. It's probably something else I'm not remembering. You know. So, but mechanically, now you can tell the reason why the facelifted model makes more sense. In terms of performance, they are basically the same. See, I've driven all basically all of them. They are just the same. Um, I can't say I've driven the E86. So far, I've not driven E86 to know how the gearbox behave. But at least 86 is good enough. So all the facilitated W2 I've driven, they have 86. Now, how do you get this one? If you really want to get the one with the 165 improved engine or with accessories that don't give issues like the old model, or the one with E86 6-speed automatic that is much better than the 86, how do you know that, or how will you be able to get facilitated 508 with these components that I mentioned? It can, if you buy the one assembled in Nigeria, you won't be able to get it. Forget it. The only way to you can get it is to buy imported one. From experience so far, it's possible that maybe at some point, but all the facelifted W2508 assembled or produced in Nigeria that I've seen, touched, worked on, or driven, they all have the same engine, the same accessories, the same all those things that we are giving issues on the old model. They all have the same. They don't have the new high pressure fuel pump or this and they don't. All the ones I know I've seen and worked on, sold brand new in Nigeria, assembled by pan. They all have the same thing in the old model. So, but the imported ones, that's where you can get these improved accessories, improved parts, or the E86 improved automatic gearbox. That's where you can get those ones, not the ones produced in Nigeria. It's possible, maybe. I'm saying maybe I've not come across them, but I know how many of them I've experienced. So I haven't seen any with this new improved engine accessories or new improved engine or the E86 gearbox. So it's now up to you to know if you want to buy the Nigeria assembled one. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. At least they are newer. So those parts, even if they are not there, they probably will not give issues yet. And even if they do, like I said, it doesn't mean they can't be fixed. Just like the people using old models, they can be fixed. With at least some of them, you can now use the new model parts to and use them, like especially the timing chain tensioner. You can use that of the new model, the ones Peugeot using for the new model, and you solve the problem of timing issue. Every now and then, your timing is going off the mark. You have to open the chamber again. Even if you change your timing chain, it makes no meaning. As long as you're still using that same old model of timing chain tensioner, issue will keep coming back over and over. So it would be better if you can get import or one, or because the point is, let's assume what you see in Nigeria was actually imported, used in Europe or wherever, imported but has been used. So what if the previous user went and bought a used engine that was from the older 508? So we are back to square one. So however, I can still tell you this. Almost all the okay, let me say by percentage, the 508 that I know that give people more headache in Nigeria, even all the ones produced in Nigeria, the one that give more headache is the old model. The new model produced in Nigeria, so at least so far, they have not started giving issues as the other ones give, or headache. So now I want you to that you see I decided to just to explain. Some people will not understand this thing, like what is this guy saying? Like, is it not the five for everybody is driving I see on the road? Good and fine. I'm telling you as a technician fixing these two cars. So that person you see on the road driving five, doing this thing, if he tells you what he's going through on that his old model, or maybe he has passed through it and everything is fixed, he's not enjoying it. But the initial time when those issues came up, it probably was a hell to the person. So you'll be saying this now until you become, in that case, I won't call it won't be a victim. It's no longer that, oh, you are a victim. No, you are not. You volunteer to experience, have that horrible experience, because I'm warning you now. If you want to be ready, at least even start from, let somebody even check the car to be sure that, okay, this one have these, the issues are there, are you ready to deal with, or at least this particular one, so far now none of those issues are not there, or it's just the minor issues, normal wear and tear. So that if you are going in, like I always tell people, if you want to buy the old model 508 and you are not ready to have an experienced technician that know what he's doing, inspect the vehicle for you and tell you what you are likely to face if you buy that particular car. My advice to you, if you are watching this video, is go and look for money of complete engine and keep aside when you are buying that vehicle. Complete. But look for money. Talking about complete, both the two, but every look for money that can get you another complete engine and keep. You don't want to pay that 50 or 100,000 for inspection, right? Fine. Go and look for about 1 point something and keep aside. You probably might even save it even if you employ what's it called? Someone like me or other technicians to come and inspect the vehicle and give you a full report what you are likely going to face if you end up buying that 508. So you may still have to spend whether you employ the person, the service or not. But my saying is, since you are going in blindly, understand, just get that 1 point. I don't even know how much it is now. Hey, go to market and price 508 inch. Just tell them 508 inch, period. Because if I say THP, you might not even understand. Since you are going in blindly, so you probably don't even know the engine model you are buying, 156, 163, or there, or 150. So you don't even know. So just tell them which one is complete engine, 508, how much. That's how my price is. Should be close to 1 point. I don't even know anymore. So go and find out. Can the engine be repaired without replacement? Of course, it can. But you're likely going to spend close to that same 1 point something, or at least 1 million naira to do the repairs. Depending on the degree of issues with the car at the point of before the previous owner decided to sell. Like I said, you see somebody driving 508. Honestly, you have no idea. You have no idea. The only person you can actually say, okay, no, this person must be really, really having good time, or have not really have that kind of experience. Maybe people that buy like Tokumbo ones that we are kept after, or probably has been fixed in Europe during warranty. Some of these issues fine. I mean, if not, you see this old model. I don't envy anybody that drives it in Nigeria. Trust me. And then, they always tell people there are things that are better experienced than explained or described. I won't discourage you from buying the old model, but I'm telling you, be man enough to take advice I'm telling you here, that expect, or you could be the luckiest guy that the previous user must have done some of this issue work for you. So those issues have gone. I know people, few persons I know that bought, and they went through hell. Trust me, they did. They went through hell, spending this, doing that. Eventually, the issues were gone. A year, 2 years now, no more. So one thing coming up, just the normal wear and tear, just like every other vehicle, every other engine. There's no treacherous expenses on the repairs anymore. No more unexplained issues that will consume fortune to fix. No, those ones are gone. But that initial time, no, they hear me. So I'm telling you, that's why I said, if you can, this facilitated model, it doesn't mean, like I said, some of them still have that engine. So how do you now know one that have? It's not up to you to find the technician that know the differences, that can point out to you and say, no, this one doesn't have, this one has the improved one. No, it still has the old engine. However, so far everything is intact at the moment. Or there are some issues, but I don't think it's something to worry about. Just in normal wear and tear, do this, will go away. Don't go and buy 508 blindly. That's the worst mistake you can ever make. Let me give you an example. That somebody, this I wasn't involved. The person actually came to me after he made the purchase, after the car dealt with him. I told him, if you want me involved in fixing your car, you pay this 50,000 naira consultancy service fee. Of how you must have insulted me, called me names and all those things, and walked away. I stayed on my own. What's my problem? I'm not the one feeling it. How many engines did he change within a space of 2-3 months? Is it 2 or 3 engines? From one engine to another, this and that. After, I don't even know how much he bought the vehicle. Of course, it was Nigerian use. The old model 508. Eventually, he sold the car again. I don't even know. He sold it with, I don't know. I'm not sure he used the car up to 6 months. After spending, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't even involved. But seeing what, each time I go there, seeing what is being removed and put back or replaced, and stories going around, I can tell you it's millions. You see, so the car, how much did he sell? I don't know. But I know the value of old model 508 in Nigeria, knowing that he probably end up selling what he purchased the car. Who knows? So in other words, everything he spent in trying to fix it within those few months he owned the vehicle was a waste. Who knows? Maybe he got the car for free or at scrap price. Maybe so. Maybe what he now sold it was almost exactly what he purchased with what he spent. I don't know. So be very careful if you want to buy, because I know this newer model. Yeah, because I'm not saying for a fact, but it's expected is to cost more than the old model in terms of purchasing the vehicle. I will expect it to cost more. So yeah, I understand. It makes sense to gamble the old model. Like I said, not everybody using it is having that issue. If you maintain your car, especially this engine, they like quality oils. They like quality oils. They don't like oil being stabbed on their engine. So if you maintain it well as much as you can, try to fix it when the issue comes, or not letting it accumulate. And the rest, why not? Why won't you enjoy it? I'm not scared of this engine. You see this 508 on this old model. I'm not scared of that engine. No, I'm just pointing it out to you. Trust me, if I own that engine today, Even if it has those issues, I'll be willing to fix it, because I know once that is done, for the next throughout my ownership of the vehicle going forward, I know I will never go to those experiences again. Because it's not about, I know what I'll use, or the improved parts Peugeot have introduced on the newer model, or how what you need to be doing so that these parts will not fail as often I usually do for some other people, and how to prevent some of this unnecessary breakdown on these engines. Why? So I'm not scared of it. You know, I'm just telling you, if you're not ready, go for the facilitated model. And even when you're going for that facilitated model, understand that you may still do the same expenses or have the same experience of the old model. The only difference is, as long as you can tell the difference between the new model and the old model, that's what I mean, the engines or the accessory introduced on the new model, then probably even if the issues are coming up, it won't be just like I said, that high pressure fuel pump. If your own fails on the new model, you won't be able to spend. You won't be scared. You know how much this old model high pressure fuel pump cost? Go and price the original one. That's how I priced it. Was about how much was it? 300,000 or 400,000? I can't even remember. Fuel pump. The car has two fuel pump. One inside the tank. The one inside the tank is about 200,000 naira now. The original one. The one outside the car is close to that 300 or 400. I can't remember. I want to be pointing out the prices so that it will make sense. Anybody hearing this will understand what I'm saying. This is not false. This is not this thing. But the older model, the newer model, I don't know the pack. I actually don't, but I know as the time I priced it, it was much, much cheaper. Though it wasn't OEM, but at least compared to the price of the aftermarket of the old model high pressure pump and the new, it was just like less than half of the price. Probably the price has gone up now, you know. But the point is, the complaint of people having issue with high pressure fuel pump the is much higher on the old model than the new model. So if you are buying the new model, you won't be scared of the high pressure pump if you fail, because at least you can afford to get it. Anybody that buy 508 should be able to afford that high pressure pump. If you can't afford it, don't even bother buying, because it's not. So the other things involve other parts of the vehicle. Suspension 508 doesn't have issue with suspension. It's just the normal wear and tear. But I won't say it's as rugged as 406, but it's much better than 407. That I can tell you for a fact. You see, for 508 suspension, whether old model or new model, 407 suspension no near am in terms of strongness, durability, no near am. It's a car you can travel with for do all your good when you come back, and you probably just spend, if at all you have anything to replace, it won't be that much. So no, in terms of suspension, 508, Peugeot did a good job there. So the other thing, electrical parts are actually not cheap, irrespective of model. Headlight, go and price this new model headlight, go and price it. So if you are buying the new model, be careful. If you are the type that do bumper to bumper drive, if you damage any of the headlight or rear light, you go hear am. In fact, you may even prefer you have that gone for the old model. Go and price how much a headlight of suited W2508 costs. Or the rear light, even the rear lights of the old model, go and find out the price. See, these cars are not be for person wey no value car. If you no value car, if you are not type that do use car anyhow, you will regret ever touching that car key in your life. That's how 508 is. I want people to actually understand. Now they are very cheap in Nigeria, because it's not about buying, it's the maintenance. So if you want to own 508, old model or new model, these are things to be aware of. You have to be somebody that know how to that don't abuse cars. That start from there. You know. I strongly believe that 508 eventually. I don't know. I can't say it will be as common as 406, but at least close to. Even in Abuja now, this new model 508, that the facilitated W2, is even becoming more common on the road than the old model. Remember, the old model is supposed to be more common, but people probably have started realizing uh, this one can be, I won't say too much headache, but you know, so they are going now, especially in Abuja. There are more of this new model 508 than the old model. You know. And people are buying Tokumbo now, so they will enjoy it more because those ones, like I say, majority of them coming from Europe, and they will have those improved as engine accessories, improved engines, improved automatic gearbox. Of course, if you're into manual transmission, you don't have any problem in terms of which transmission to go for. You know, whether old model or new model, they're all 6 speed. They all have the manual transmission for the turbocharged engines. You know. So, but like I said, in terms of performance, they all do the same thing. They fast like the old model and new model. Even though the newer model has a little bit more power, but it might be quicker, but not that significant. You won't notice it that much in terms of compared to the old model. So, um, I mean, in terms of how quick they are, compared to 407, 406, 607, no, the 407s V6, 607 V6, 406 V6, they are faster, period. Now, I'm telling you, as someone who have used it, who have driven all models, different models of 508, various engines, especially that W2, 150, 120, 163. They are fast, they are decent, but these V6 engines, they are much faster. They have more torque, they have more HP, they are just faster. At least I know almost all these Peugeot V6, I think especially the 406, 607, um, 407, they're about between 7 to 8 seconds speed. 406 is about 7 point something seconds. 407, 8 point something seconds. 607, same 8 point something seconds. So, or close to about 9 seconds. They just say, especially it just all of them, they are is about 7 to 8 seconds, but the 508, irrespective of the power 1 to 165, is still about 9 point something seconds. The only thing I will tell you is 508 turbocharged engine, man, they can be very quick at low speed. V6 will not go even near them. When you are moving off, taking off, no, V6 is not that fast at that time. The 508 turbocharged engines, woof, actually, because remember they are turbocharged engines, so the torque is about 240 maximum. It comes up immediately at around 1,500 RPM. So at that time, the car pushes soft. V6 won't get up at that time with that kind of quickness at that low RPM or that low vehicle speed. So the only time the V6 will now pass the 508 is as the RPM start, no, as the speedometer start climbing, then VC will see, because at that time the V6 now it has more torque. So as the RPM is climbing for the V6, the torque keeps coming in, the HP keeps coming in. Unlike 508, the torque, the 240 torque ends almost, it starts and ends around I think once you hit to 2000 RPM, the torque has ended. So you just continue using the same 240 nm torque until you reach close to 6,000 or 7,000 RPM. But the V6, as you are moving, the torque keep coming in, the HPC coming until you reach close to 7,000 RPM. So that's the advantage you have when you buy a 508, irrespective of whether old model or no, you enjoy this thing, and the fuel consumption will be much lower because remember it's turbocharged engine. You don't need to push the car hard to maintain a reasonable speed. So once you press a little, the torque pulls the vehicle. So the consumption is expected to be very low. But once you start pressing it hard, it will even consume more than V6. So that mistake people make. If you start pushing beyond halfway throttle, close to the floor on a turbocharged 508, the consumption will shoot up. Trust me, if you surprised that your V6 will consume less in that case. But at lower RPM, trust me, if you are using 508, you shouldn't complain of fuel consumption. You should not. It's very, very good in terms of fuel economy. As long as you don't push it hard, let the torque handle the vehicle, the weight. Remember, 508 W2 it has almost the same weight, close to 407. It's about almost I think the minimum in terms of for those turbocharged engines is about 1,480 kg. Remember, 406 V6 manual saloon. The maximum kg is about 4,450 kg. 1,450 kg. However, the 508 with turbocharged like 156 or 165 is about 1,485. So it has more weight than even 406 V6. The only thing I would say is 508 has less weight than 407. It has less weight than 407. But 406 it has less weight, even though it has more weight, more power. So that's the advantage, even with the weight. Because 508, I think the lowest kg in 508 with the 1.8 liter engine, that's EW7 engine, manual transmission is I think it's about 1,505 kg or so. It's just 407. 407 is just one heavy car. I don't know what Peugeot is. I don't have issue with weight. The only issue I have with 508 is why the Peugeot not make the power enough for the weight they put on the vehicle. I know, yeah, it might affect the fuel consumption. That's what it will do. It will make it consume more than it actually consumes. But then at least you won't really have to worry about not being fast enough. I think what would have fitted 407. I'm talking about 407, especially the four cylinder one would have probably turbocharged engines or supercharged engines. That would have, I think that will make it consume less and be able to handle that weight and also be quicker because it's newer. It succeeded 407. Unfortunately, it couldn't drive faster than 407, 406. It couldn't be faster than 406. It couldn't consume less than 406. Yet it's newer. It's expected to do better in these two things I mentioned. So what Peugeot did in 508 was a big improvement of 407 in terms of power. No, in terms of quickness. That's even though at the end 407 will still V61 will still a C. But at least when you are moving normal high speed drive, yeah, the is very fast. The power is okay. Even though I would have preferred it to have up to 200 horsepower or even more, but then I realized the intention they designed for 508 just they didn't do it for sports actually, especially the petrol ones. No, if you want power, go for diesel. There's a diesel 2.2, 2.0 that has up to 200 and something horsepower, 204 horsepower, 180 horsepower, and the rest. But for petrol one, they didn't do it for actually the way 406, 407 V6, 607 V6 we are designed. So I know this is a long video, but at least you get the idea. So buy the old model, nothing wrong with that, but just do your work very well before you purchase. And when you purchase, At least if you have the knowledge already, or the information that this is what you are going to experience, you won't be all take it on a, you won't feel bad, or because this you are expecting that you're going to spend this, or these are the things. Or that if you can't, then get the facilitated model, and yeah, you might still spend, but then if you can't, get the fully used one, Tokumbo. At least there you have the chance of getting one with the improved automatic 6 speed of gearbox E86, the improved the engine, and you also gain from the gadgets on the car. You have better gadgets, So okay, I think this is it. Anybody that claims not understand now the reason why I recommend the facilitated one after watching this video, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, okay.